Have you ever wondered what everything in the universe is made of? Or what the first thinkers asked when they looked at the stars, the rivers, and the changing seasons, trying to understand the world without relying on myths or gods? In the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, a group of bold thinkers known as the Presocratic philosophers began to ask these very questions. Living in Ionia, on the coast of ancient Greece, they sought the fundamental principle, or arche, that underlies all of nature. Unlike the stories of gods and monsters that dominated their culture, they turned to observation, reason, and logic to explain the universe. In this video, we will explore three of the earliest and most influential Presocratics: Thales, Anaximander, and Anaximenes, all from the city of Miletus. Each of them proposed a different primary substance or principle as the source of everything: water, the infinite apeiron, and air. Their ideas may seem simple today, but at the time they were revolutionary. By seeking natural explanations for the world, these thinkers laid the foundation for science, philosophy, and rational thought, an approach that still shapes how we explore the universe today. Join us as we uncover the lives, theories, and insights of these pioneering minds whose questions continue to inspire curiosity more than 2.5 millennia later. Chapter 2. Thales of Miletus. Imagine looking at the world and asking, what is everything made of? Over 2,600 years ago, Thales of Miletus asked exactly that question. Born around 624 BCE in the city of Miletus, on the coast of Asia Minor, Thales is often considered the first philosopher in Western history. But he was more than a thinker. He was also a mathematician, astronomer, and engineer, blending curiosity with observation and practical knowledge. Thales came from a wealthy family, which allowed him to travel and study. He is said to have visited Egypt, learning geometry from the Egyptians, and he predicted a solar eclipse, showing his skill in astronomy. His approach was revolutionary. Instead of turning to myths to explain natural phenomena, he looked for natural causes and fundamental principles. Thales believed that the primary substance of all things arche was water. He thought that everything, from plants and animals to the earth itself, originated from water and eventually returned to it. For Thales, nature followed orderly patterns that could be understood through observation and reason, not through the whims of gods. Famous quotes: "Water is the principle of all things, everything is full of gods," indicating that nature itself is alive and active, though not in a mythological sense. Examples and applications. Observing rivers and rain, Thales noticed that water nourishes all living beings, making it a natural choice for the source of life. His ideas extended to mathematics. He is credited with early geometric theorems, such as understanding that a circle is bisected by its diameter, and using geometry to measure distances and heights. By combining observation with reasoning, Thales laid the foundation for scientific inquiry, showing that humans could understand the world through study rather than myth. Thales's thinking was groundbreaking because he shifted the perspective from divine storytelling to rational explanation. His focus on a single underlying substance for all things set the stage for other Presocratics to explore their own theories. In a sense, he started the first chapter of philosophy and science, asking questions that continue to challenge and inspire thinkers today. Chapter 3. Anaximander. What lies beyond what we can see and touch? How did the universe begin? These were the bold questions that Anaximander, a student of Thales, tried to answer. Born around 610 BCE in Miletus, Anaximander took philosophy and observation further than anyone before him, blending cosmology, biology, and geography in ways that were revolutionary for his time. Anaximander was a student of Thales, but he challenged and expanded his teacher's ideas. He lived in a period when the Greeks were beginning to explore the world scientifically, mapping it and studying natural patterns. He is credited with creating one of the first maps of the known world and proposing theories about the stars, planets, and the Earth itself. Unlike Thales, who believed in a single substance, Anaximander proposed the apeiron, or the infinite boundless, as the origin of all things. The apeiron is indefinite and eternal, the source from which all opposites, hot and cold, wet and dry, emerge. He introduced the idea of balance in nature, suggesting that everything is governed by a cosmic justice, a principle that keeps natural forces in harmony. Anaximander also theorized about the Earth floating in space, unsupported, and about celestial bodies as rings of fire separated by air. a remarkable attempt to explain the cosmos without mythology. In biology, he proposed that humans evolved from simpler life forms, such as fish-like creatures, reflecting one of the earliest ideas resembling evolution. Famous quotes and ideas. The source of all things is the indefinite. Everything pays penalty and retribution to each other for their injustice according to the order of time. On natural balance and cosmic justice. Examples and applications. By observing the cycles of nature, like seasons and tides, Anaximander reasoned that life emerges from and returns to a primordial, boundless substance. His concept of the apeiron influenced later philosophers, including Anaximenes and even Aristotle, as it suggested that the universe operates through underlying invisible principles. His cosmological models attempted to explain natural phenomena, such as eclipses and celestial movements, without invoking gods, an extraordinary leap towards scientific thinking. Anaximander expanded the idea that the universe could be understood rationally. By proposing the infinite as the source of all things, he showed that the world is dynamic, interconnected, and governed by natural laws, rather than divine whim. His work paved the way for future exploration of physics, astronomy, and biology, making him one of the most influential Presocratic thinkers. Chapter 4. Anaximenes. What if everything in the universe could be explained by something as simple as air? This is the question Anaximenes of Miletus, a student of Anaximander, explored around 585 BCE. Anaximenes took the pre-Socratic search for the arche, or fundamental principle, one step further, grounding his philosophy in observable phenomena that anyone could experience. Anaximenes was born in Miletus, like his predecessors Thales and Anaximander, and lived during a time of great curiosity and intellectual experimentation in Ionia. He was fascinated by the natural world, focusing on air, wind, clouds, and breath, and he sought a principle that could explain both the cosmos and everyday life. Anaximenes proposed that air is the primary substance from which everything arises. Through condensation, air becomes denser and forms water, earth, and stones. Through rarefaction, air becomes thinner and transforms into fire. For Anaximenes, natural transformations were continuous processes, governed by physical laws rather than divine intervention. He emphasized observation and experience, making his explanations more tangible than the abstract apeiron of Anaximander. Famous quotes and ideas. Air is the source of all things. Everything arises from air and returns to it again, highlighting the cyclical nature of transformation. Examples and applications. Observing breath, wind, and clouds, Anaximenes concluded that air is essential for life and that all natural forms are variations of this primary substance. His ideas provided an early model of physical change, where matter transforms through processes like compression and expansion, a precursor to later scientific thinking. By grounding his philosophy in directly observable phenomena, Anaximenes made philosophy more practical and connected to the real world. Anaximenes represents the bridge between abstract and concrete thinking in early philosophy. By choosing air as the fundamental principle and explaining transformations through condensation and rarefaction, he introduced a systematic and rational way to understand nature. His work not only influenced later pre-Socratics but also shaped the development of natural science, demonstrating that the universe could be understood through observation, logic, and natural processes. Chapter 5. Conclusion. Connecting their ideas. Imagine looking at the world today and realizing that the questions we ask about the universe, what is it made of? How does it work? What are its laws? Were first asked over 2,500 years ago by three thinkers from a small Greek city called Miletus. Thales, Anaximander, and Anaximenes each sought the underlying principle, or arche, of everything. Thales said it was water, the life-giving substance behind all things. Anaximander proposed the apeiron, the infinite and boundless origin of all that exists. Anaximenes believed air was the source of life and all transformations in nature. Though their answers were different, these philosophers shared a revolutionary approach. Instead of explaining the world through gods and myths, they looked for natural causes, patterns, and principles. They observed, reasoned, and hypothesized, the first steps toward science and philosophy. Their ideas remind us that curiosity is timeless. The questions they asked about the cosmos, life, and natural laws continue to inspire thinkers, scientists, and philosophers even today. By understanding their lives and theories, we see the birth of rational thought, where observation, logic, and imagination work together to explain the universe. In short, the Presocratics show us that the search for knowledge begins with asking the right questions, and that even the simplest observations, water, air, the infinite, can lead to profound insights about the world we live in.